Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And greetings I bid to our wonderful lecturer, Madam Farrah Diebaa, and to all my fellow friends. My name is Aiman Hakim bin Jalumin, and together with my group mates, Harith, Haikal, and Asyraaf, we'll be presenting on our Syntactic Analysis 2 for ENCO 2107 Syntax class. So, allow me to begin for the introduction of our presentation. So, for the second syntactic analysis that was assigned, two articles have to be analyzed by determining the sentence structure for each of the sentences. Among the articles that have to be analyzed are an article written for children aged 5 to 6 and another article that was made for university students. In this report, we aim to study the different types of sentence structures and the level of readability meant for the native speakers of English in two types of articles, which are for adults and for kids. So, for the methodology of our research, the articles that have been chosen are Powerful Predator for the children's article and You Now Have a Shorter Attention Span Than a Goldfish for the university students article. Both of these articles will be analyzed by classifying each sentence according to their type of sentence structure. After classifying each sentence, the frequency of the type of sentence used in both articles will be calculated. This is to find out the relationship between the type of sentence used and the level of readability of the articles. Now, I pass the floor to my friend Haikal to explain about the types of sentence structures.
Thank you, Aiman, for the brilliant explanation. Hi, I am Haikal, and today I will continue with the type of sentence structures. The sentence used in both articles had to be classified as either a simple, compound, complex, or complex compound sentence. These four types of sentence are the classification of sentence structures. These sentences also consisted of clause, which contain a subject and predicate. An independent clause has a complete thought while a dependent clause does not. A simple sentence is a sentence which contains one independent clause, while a compound sentence contains at least two independent clauses. Furthermore, a complex sentence contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause, while a complex compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. Moving on to the materials. These two articles are the one we managed to find, and the first one on the left is an article for children aged 5 to 6, which is titled A Powerful Predator, while on the right is article for university student, which is titled as You Now Have a Shorter Attention Span Than a Goldfish. With these two articles, we will analyze the sentence structures, and I will pass to Asyraaf to start with the analysis.
Thank you, Haikal, for your explanation. And now we will be presenting about our analysis on both articles. So, for the first article, analysis for kids article age 5 to 6 years old, the first sentence of the article, sharks are the top of the ocean food chain. This sentence will be classified as a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause. Next sentence, the great white shark is one of the deadliest and most powerful. This sentence also a simple sentence because it only has one independent clause only. The next sentence, it is a predator. Also a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause. The next sentence, it eats other animals such as sea lions, seals, and dolphins. Also a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause and not more than one. The next sentence, here's how a great white hunt for food. Also a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause only. So, moving on to the next sentence. A great white shark has a sharp sense of smell. This sentence we classify as a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause. The next sentence, it can sniff out a group of seals from 2 miles away, also be identified as a simple sentence because it has only also one independent clause. Moving on, a big tail helps this shark move quickly through the water, also be identified as a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause and not more than that. After that, the shark moves its tails from side to side. We also classified the sentence as a simple sentence because it has also one independent clause only. The next one, a great white shark can have 300 trees. In this sentence, we classify as a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause. And the next sentence, before I pass the floor to the next presenter, sharp teeth and strong jaws help the shark capture prey. Also, we classify as a simple sentence because it has only one independent clause. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Daniel. Now we have come to the last 5 sentences of the article. The first one is, great white sharks surprise their prey. This is a simple sentence which includes one subject and one predicate, which is an independent clause. The second one is, first they sneak up. This is also a simple sentence which is an independent clause. Next is, then they attack. This is also a simple sentence. Next, it is dangerous to swim with sharks up close. This is a simple sentence which includes an independent clause. The next one is, that is why photographers and marine biologists study sharks from cages. This is also a simple sentence including 2 subjects and 1 predicate, which is also an independent clause. That is all for the first article, a powerful predator. Now we analyze the type of sentences of the next article targeted for university students, titled, You Now Have Shorter Attention Span Than a Goldfish. Let's start with the first sentence. The first sentence is started by an independent clause, which is, the average attention span for the notoriously ill-focused goldfish is 9 seconds. This clause is continued by a dependent clause, according to a new study from Microsoft Corporation. Next, another independent clause comes in, which is, people now generally lose concentration after 8 seconds. Finally, this sentence is closed by a dependent clause, highlighting the effects of an increasingly digitalized lifestyle on the brain. This combination of more than one of both clauses makes this sentence categorized as a complex compound sentence. Moving on to the next sentence. This sentence is started by an independent clause, which is, researchers in Canada surveyed 2,000 participants. And this clause is continued by a dependent clause, studied the brain activity of 112 others using electroencephalogram (EEGs). This combination of one of both clauses is why we named it as compound sentence.
So, allow me to continue on with the analysis. For the next sentence, we have, Microsoft found that since the year 2000, or about when the mobile revolution began, the average attention span dropped from 12 seconds to 8 seconds. So we found out that this sentence is a complex sentence. This is because there is one independent clause and there is one dependent clause, in which Microsoft found that since the year 2000, or about when the mobile revolution began, is a dependent clause, and the average attention span dropped from 12 seconds to 8 seconds is an independent clause. After that, the next sentence we have is, heavy multi-screeners find it difficult to filter out irrelevant stimuli. They are more easily distracted by multiple streams of media, the report read. So this sentence is classified as a complex compound sentence. Why? Because there is 2 independent clauses and there is 1 dependent clause. The first independent clause is heavy multi-screeners find it difficult to filter out irrelevant stimuli, and the next independent clause is they are more easily distracted by multiple streams of media, in which the only dependent clause here is the report read, in which the clause itself needs more information to become an independent clause. After that, we have another sentence which is on the positive side. The report says our ability to multitask has drastically improved in the mobile age. We have classified this sentence as a complex sentence because it has one dependent clause and it has one independent clause, in which the dependent clause is on the positive side, in which it is a dependent clause, and the independent clause is the report says our ability to multitask has drastically improved in the mobile age. Now, once again, I would like to pass the floor to Haikal to continue on with the analysis.
So I will continue with the next sentence, which is Microsoft theorized that the changes were a result of the brain's ability to adapt and change itself over time, and a weaker attention span may be a side effect of evolving to a mobile internet. Here, first thing first is identify all the clauses, and here we have identified 3 clauses. 2 of them are independent clauses and one of them is dependent clause. So if there are at least 2 independent clauses and at least 1 dependent clauses, it is a complex compound sentence. Moving on to the next sentence, the survey also confirmed generational difference for mobile use. For example, 77% people aged 18 to 24 responded yes when asked, when nothing is occupying my attention, the first thing I do is reach for my phone, compared with only 10% of those over the age of 65. The same thing we did with the sentence before. Identify the clauses, and here we have identified that there are 3 independent clauses and 2 dependent clauses. So the same as before, if there are at least 2 independent clauses and at least 1 dependent clauses, it is a complex compound sentence. For moving on to the last sentence, and now congratulate yourself for concentrating long enough to make it through this article. This sentence is a simple sentence because there is only 1 independent clause and no dependent clause. So that's all for the analysis. I will continue with the findings. So from the analysis of the article for kids aged 5 to 6, which is a powerful predator, simple sentence structure dominates with a percentage of 100%. That means that throughout the article, the author only used simple sentences. On the other hand, for the university students article, you now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. It is a bit of a mixed bag. All 4 types of sentence structure are used by the author. Complex compound sentences are the most frequently used in the article with 50%, followed by complex sentences with 25%. Simple sentences and compound sentences have the least frequency in this article, both with 12.5%. Now, I will pass on to my friend Harith to continue.
Now, there are some theories on why different types of sentences are used in articles targeted to different age groups. According to Nat and Cam, the usage of simpler sentences in articles for kids is to help them start reading and easily understand the points given in a short period of time. This is caused by the late development of their understanding towards more complex sentences, which is at age 6 or above, as stated by Diesel in his book about the acquisition of complex sentences. This is the theory behind why the article "A Powerful Predator" has simple sentences from the beginning to the end. Moving on, there are also theories on why complex sentences is used in articles for adults. Claire stated that the increased readability of adults is what makes them can comprehend more complex sentences. that can include more information in one sentence. This is supported by a finding by Scheid, Brouwer and Friedrichi that brain development of adults combined with their reading experience help them understand more complex sentences. This may be the reason behind the mass usage of complex compound sentences in the article, "You now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish."
In conclusion, in both papers, all four kinds of sentence structures were found. There are simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and also complex compound sentences. In the first article, a powerful predator of Time magazine were made for kids aged 5 to 6 years old. Therefore, the sentences used in the article were packed with simple sentences as it will assist the readers to understand more. However, the second article were made for university students and is also a mixture of a sentence structure as it is aligned with the comprehension of university students. Therefore, this indicates that the writers closely observe the language ability and also intellectual abilities of the readers. I think that's all from us. Thank you very much for listening, and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.